Ladies and gentlemen, it is a big, weird, wild world out there, and here we stand, folks, al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob Grams, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You're listening to The ProBoh Show. If you're listening in the morning on phone radio, it's currently 8:30. Good morning to you. It's Thursday. Well done, you made it. For those of us watching the show live, it's currently 8 p.m. Central European time. How you doing out there, folks? For our American friends in New York, it's 2 p.m. It's 2 p.m. 2 in the afternoon. And for our friends in Los Angeles, it's 11 in the morning. For those of you in London, UK, it's currently 7 in the afternoon. How are you doing, friends? You are full of energy today, says Nuria Tam. I am full of energy. It was a day off for me today. So I took advantage of it fully. I did nothing. I slept. I've slept. For the first time ever. You guys know what it is. You get older. When you're young, you can sleep until 3 in the afternoon without even thinking. But as you get older, I found I wake up earlier. Today I woke up at 10 a.m. 10 in the morning. For the first time in years. It felt wonderful. And then I just enjoyed the rest of my day off. Just roamed around the house. Ate a Burger King. It was a dream come true, folks. How are we doing? Hi, Rob. I made it. Wood, how are you doing, Gandalf? We've got Gandalf, Nuria Tam, Rafelka, Chusky Trusky, and more. Close the doors, guys. Don't let any of the riff-raff in. Okay? We've got the best people here now. We don't need anyone else. Tell them to go away. What do we have coming up in today's show? Oh, the second half is going to be special, friends. The second half is going to be special. Remember, I missed a piece of news yesterday. We spent so long talking about the unpopular opinion. We missed one of the complete the news. Well, we're coming back to that piece of news. We're going to Perth in Scotland to look at a museum. And then also we're going to go to Florida. To an air traveler in Florida. Thank you, Florida. You know, I'm almost glad that Governor Ron DeSantis is still in charge of Florida, because as long as he is, we'll keep getting these weird news stories. Yeah, that's you know what that was? That was a phrase that both the left and the right can hate equally.
ProBoh approved.
I don't care. Your tears are delicious, and your anger only makes me more powerful. Urs is here. How are you doing? Oh my God, Burger King, says Urs. Yeah, it was delicious. Let me tell you, it was delicious. Double Whopper meal is by far the most superior Burger King pedido. I would ask any of you to try and disagree on that point. It's basically the perfect meal. I might even get another one tonight. I can't see me cooking. Or maybe it's pizza. I don't know. Too much enjoyment for one evening. So while we're talking about, do you want to talk politics? No. Let's continue with the rundown of the show. Also in the second half, we go to 100 humans and find out why people enter other people's houses. And that's all that fun is coming up in the second half of the show, guys. Before we get to that, we've got the first half and today's unpopular opinion, which was suggested to me on Instagram, but the person asked to remain anonymous. I guess that's just in case, I say something wildly outrageous. Gandalf is saying KFC. Dude, I love KFC. When I found out that in the States, KFC is seen as like some kind of one of the lesser takeout franchises, I was shocked. Like KFC for me when I was a kid was like a treat. Oh my God. I thought it was the best thing ever. I love KFC. I love it. Anyway, stop. You're distracting me with food. I've only eaten lunch today. So yeah, today's unpopular opinion was a suggestion, but given that the person who suggested it prefers to remain anonymous, I will adopt it as my own. But you know what? Before that, let's do this. I'm here, you're here. Let's look at what's going on in the world, friends. And oh my God, what a day. what a day. Meta. Back in the news, Mr. Zuckerberg, the human cyborg. The AI that crashed to Earth in an alien spaceship. Mark Zuckerberg. Sad news, man. Apparently, Mr. Zuckerberg is going to be laying off. He's going to be firing or making redundant over 11,000 employees. Man, that is sad news. That's sad news for the local economies of the places where those people get laid off. That's sad for a number of reasons. But they're not the first and they're not the only tech giant to be making layoffs. We spoke about Twitter at length. Doesn't that put it into perspective, guys? When Twitter laid off 3,000, Mark Zuckerberg's laying off 11. My God. But not only those two, I believe Lyft, the rideshare company Lyft, has made some big layoffs. Others, Salesforce. Salesforce is going to be laying off or making redundant more than 2,500 workers in the coming weeks. It's a bad time for tech giants. What I identify as the main problem here, particularly in Facebook's case, I can't speak for Lyft and I can't speak for Salesforce, but I think particularly in Facebook's case, over the pandemic, Zuckerberg invested heavily, thinking that the massive swing to e-commerce was a permanent swing. And that was a poor investment because, as we all know, things have slowly, but things are definitely getting back to normal. We reported the other day on a ProBoh show that remote work, although highly in demand, is reducing in quantity. So it's not meeting the demand of job hunters. So it's sad. A lot of and this makes me wonder about the future of people in programming and people involved in tech startups, because right now there is they're highly in demand. People in programming systems, and I wonder if what is going to happen now is what happened maybe 10 years ago, when there was the bust in content creation online. And it basically flooded the market with a lot of audio-visual producers. And I wonder if this is going to happen with the tech industry. I certainly hope not. Because if you're in marketing or audio-visual, the job market still has not recovered. There are just way too many people looking for jobs and not enough jobs for them to go to. So it's sad news, man. Sad news. Do we talk about the midterm elections? I know that only a small portion of the people who listen to the show come from the States. A significant portion. You are number 2 on the list. Spain is number 1. What's up, Spain? Love you guys. Let's talk about the midterm elections, friends. Don't worry, I'm not going to get all preachy about politics like I usually do, but there have been a few anomalies. A few little things, little news stories that slip through the cracks. They're quite funny. For example, in Pennsylvania, a Pennsylvania state representative has been re-elected, so congratulations. He's a Democrat. He's been re-elected, but sadly the man's dead. Yeah, I'm going to read an article from Fox News, so obviously take this with a pinch of salt. But this comes from a Fox News article. A Pennsylvania state representative who died last month was re-elected during the midterm election, reports say. Democrat Tony DeLuca died on October 9th after a brief battle with lymphoma. Oh, rest in peace, DeLuca, that he had twice previously beat. He was 85. And despite his death, he's been re-elected. That's a quality politician there. There's no one better. We're just going to vote for the dead guy. Is that not like encapsulating a little bit about American politics right now? Do you know, I can only assume that I don't know when it happened for the States, but I've been following the midterm elections very closely. You guys report politics like the rest of the world reports sports. The running tickers with the scores underneath, and It's like it's like reality TV, man. I'm just saying, America, I get it. I get it. You know, you like things big and brash and loud. But if you don't want another Trump, stop making it look so much like reality television. I'm saying that, and you probably do want another Trump. I don't know. On that note, have you heard Ron DeSantis? We mentioned it briefly in the first part of the show. Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, maintained his governorship. It does look like at this point that I think the Senate is a very close race, but the Republicans are going to win the House. I'm not sure how well versed you are, my friends, in American politics. That maybe means little to nothing to you, so I'm sorry if it does. But in the Senate, it's currently 48-48. And the House, the Republicans so far have the majority with 203 officially elected people in the House of Representatives. Okay, that's enough. Enough dry stuff. Ron DeSantis has managed to maintain Florida, so thanks. You know, we're going to maintain a steady flow of weird Florida news. Do you guys know who Ron DeSantis is? Did you remember the news story about the gentleman who sent a ton of, not refugees, what's the word? A ton of immigrants to Martha's Vineyard in an aeroplane? That was Ron DeSantis. He is a Republican governor, and it looks like Mr. Donald Trump, if he does indeed run again for president, he may be running against Ron DeSantis. Am I alone in being a little bit excited about that? Not because I'm a fan of either two. I'm clearly not. I'm not. But I'm excited to hear the nickname that Trump gives him. I'm excited to hear these two horrible people arguing with each other. It's just going to be it. Like, you've got to remember, America, for those of us in Europe, this kind of stuff is like watching reality TV. So I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be offensive, although I recognize I am. And if you are offended, please send me your complaints in the form of tears in a jar. They are delicious, and your anger makes me more powerful. Okay, and what else did we have to report? Yeah, also another interesting thing. A progressive activist, also in Florida, he won. He's become the first Generation Theta member of Congress. A young man by the name of Maxwell Alejandro Frost, of 25 years old. He won his race to represent Florida's 10th congressional district. I predict this is something that is going to happen more and more in the future. There is a steady swing. It has been traditionally for years. Politicians appeal to the older generations, right? Why? Because they've always outnumbered younger generations. And now with the decline in birth rate that we're seeing all over the world, I predict we're going to see more and more young people entering politics like this and becoming wildly successful. This is one of the youngest, well, not one of the youngest, but definitely the first member of Generation Z to enter to become a member of Congress. Interesting stuff. Maxwell Alejandro Frost, check him out, guys. He is, I believe, a Democrat, which is like, good job to him. Not only is he a kid, he's a Democrat, and he won in Florida. That's brilliant. So, 10th District of Florida, get ready for, legal marijuana. What else would he legalize? I don't even know. See, this is how out of touch I am with young generations, Fortnite, free for everybody. I don't know. Between DeSantis and Biden, I would go with DeSantis. Oh, Gandalf, you're breaking my heart. Don't get me wrong, I'm no big Biden fan, but I'm even less of a DeSantis fan. And Lauren Boebert, as a bit of an update to previous news stories, do you remember Lauren Boebert? Does everybody remember her? Remember when we did the news story about a lady that said Jesus wouldn't have been crucified if he'd have had guns? If guns had been legal. Yeah, well, her seat is being hotly contested right now. It's for a while she thought she was a shoo-in. That's how we would say. Like for a while she was confident she was going to win, but it's looking less and less likely. It's actually a very, very close race. Something that I will be following, given that Lauren Boebert is a recurring figure on the show. All right. That's all I want to talk about. I don't want to fill your head with any more politics. I know you don't come here for politics. You come here for me to say silly things. And God bless you. God bless you. You don't have to live under a puppet that can't remember his name. That's true. That's true. Although I am a bit of a puppet that forgets my own name, Gandalf. So I don't know how that ranks. All right. Let's go to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
So as I said at the top of the show, today's unpopular opinion was a suggestion, but the person who suggested it asked me kindly, please, Rob, keep my name out of your damn mouth. He didn't say it like that. He just says, please, I'd prefer to remain anonymous. So I respect that. What is an unpopular opinion? Every day I have a brain fat, a pedocerebral or a pedomental. I post it on my social networks. You guys vote. Independent of how you vote, I argue the same way. The people who make the decision of whether I'm right or wrong are the people right here in the chat watching me live. Urs, Gandalf, Rafelka, Chusky, Nuria, all these good people. Okay, so what is today's unpopular opinion? Let me tell you. Daylight saving time should be abolished. Daylight saving time should be abolished. Now, we're all familiar with what daylight saving time is, right? Okay? I hope so. That is the shift in time between March and October, usually. So the clocks go forward an hour in March, they go back an hour in November. I believe that's how it goes. Daylight saving time should be abolished. Rafelka says, yes, please. We don't have nuclear weapons at our disposal either, says Gandalf. Yes, please. So you're a fan of this idea. I would like to know whether you would... I'm going to release a very quick poll in the chat. Because here's something that Coco Lavender, she mentioned to me on Instagram. She would be interested in knowing if one of these things were to disappear. If we were to maintain the same time the year through, would you prefer standard time or daylight saving time? So would you prefer it when the clock's like the summer schedule or the winter schedule? So in the chat, I'm going to release a poll. Standard or daylight? And I want to know what you think. Because the experts have an opinion on this. The experts have an opinion on this, and I will reveal their opinion at the end. So you'll see there's a poll in the chat. Time, standard time or daylight time? Which would you prefer? Okay, standard time is where we are now. Daylight savings time was where we were prior to the clocks changing in October. Let's see. Yes, please stop, says Chusky. I hate to come back home without daylight, says Rafelka. Yeah, me too. Stop messing with time. I want as much sunlight as possible. I love the summertime clock, says Chusky. Or as we should know the actual saving figures to have an opinion on this. Well, apparently I did do a little bit of research. And, well, look, okay, why is there a daylight savings time? Germany was the first country to enact daylight saving time, okay, in 1916. It was enacted during World War I to save energy costs, and then the United States and Europe followed suit. The practice of moving the clock forward 1 hour from standard time during the spring gives more daylight, and that's the idea. It's supposed to give more daylight in summer evenings and more light during winter mornings. And apparently savings are negligible in terms of power. So this wouldn't be, your decision here wouldn't affect really your wallet or the planet, because according to studies, there is little to no difference. Oh, this is interesting. Most people are saying they prefer daylight savings time, what we were experiencing a month ago. Okay, interesting. It's interesting to me. I'll tell you why later. Okay, well, let's get into this. I think we should abolish daylight saving time. I don't think we should stick with standard time, and I certainly don't think we should be changing the clock. I think we should abolish daylight saving time. The clock shouldn't go forward in March, nor back in November. It's nonsense. Sleep experts say that moving our clocks forward in the spring is ruining our health. Studies over the last 25 years, by the way, I'm going to be using two studies here: neurobiology of sleep-wake cycle and light and the human circadian clock. Those are two studies. If you follow me on Patreon, I will pass you the links there when I post the show. Studies over the last 25 years has shown the 1 hour change disrupts body rhythms tuned to the Earth's rotation, adding fuel to the debate of whether having daylight saving time in any form is a good idea. Now I'm going to share with you a couple of quotes. The first is from Dr. Elizabeth Clerman, a professor of neurology at Harvard Medical School. She says, "Your body clock stays with natural light, not with the clock on your wall. And there is no evidence that your body fully shifts with the new time, to daylight saving time." There are figures, because otherwise they wouldn't change it. No, there are figures. Apparently there is no real difference in saving of energy. The only difference is in terms of light. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Dr. Phyllis Z, director of the Center of Circadian and Sleep Medicine at Northwestern University. Here's another quote. "Between March and November, your body gets less morning light and more evening light, which can throw off your circadian rhythm." So most of you have said here in the poll that you would prefer daylight saving time. But apparently, according to experts, daylight savings time is not good for your health. It's much better to remain on standard time. Don't hate me, hate the experts. I'm just a monkey. Or to use Gandalf's words, a puppet. I'm a puppet of the scientific experts. Circadian rhythms, I've said that word a few times. What does it mean? They are physical, mental, and behavioral changes that follow a 24-hour cycle. These natural processes respond primarily to light and dark and affect most living things, not only humans, all animals, plants, and even microbes. Okay, so to continue with Dr. Phyllis Z, even though you guys have said here that you'd prefer to keep daylight savings time, Dr. Phyllis Z states, and this is from a CNN interview that I found, "Current evidence best supports that the adoption of year-round standard time." So current evidence suggests that if we stayed with standard time, which aligns best with the human circadian biology and provides distinct benefits for public health and safety. So she should suggest, the expert, and I'm no expert, but she suggests standard time is the way to go. And that is why daylight savings time, ladies and gentlemen, should be abolished. I'll continue. Research has shown that both heart attacks, is some interesting facts and figures that I pulled up today. Again, all these reports I will post on my Patreon. You can find me on Patreon, Professional Bohemian. Very, very, very easy. Research has shown that both heart attacks and fatal car accidents increase after the clock falls forward in the spring. There's another thing you probably weren't expecting to hear. But here's the thing. What we're suggesting here, to keep standard time or to keep daylight saving time, there is currently a bill in the US waiting to be approved or denied to maintain a standard daylight savings time. But this has happened before. Richard Nixon signed a permanent daylight saving time into law in 1974 in January. And it was popular. Right back then when that happened, it was seen as a really popular, positive thing. But 1 month later, just 1 month later, the Florida governor at the time, the Ron DeSantis of that moment, I'm going to stop saying that man's name, the Florida governor at the time called for the law to be repealed, to be removed, because 8 school children were hit by cars walking home in the dark. And it led to every school in the country delaying their opening times until the sun came up. So it's interesting, right? Interesting. I'm trying to sell you here on standard time. Okay, the vote is still going. Now even more. 80% of you think daylight time is the way to go. Interesting. Okay, guys. That is what's up for debate. Should daylight savings time be abolished? I'm going to drop a poll in the chat. Guys, I will see you in a few minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, ProBoh. Okay, on with the show.
The ProBoh Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ProBoh Show. How are you doing? It's currently 9 a.m. for those of you listening on the radio. For those of you joining us live, it's 8:30 in the morning, Central European Time, in the afternoon, Central European Time, 2:30 in the afternoon in New York, 11:30 in Los Angeles, 7:30 p.m. in London. How are you doing, friends? Welcome, welcome. And to those angelic podcast listeners, I see you. I see you. I see you, and you look glorious. You really do. All right. So, what did you miss if you're just tuning in? Let me tell you, in the first half of the show, we spoke about, we did a little dive into the American midterm elections. We spoke about Ron DeSantis maintaining his governorship of Florida, quite predictably so. He's very, very popular out there, and that he might be running for president. So read up on this guy. Read up on him. And what else did we talk about? We talked about a Gen Z person, a person from Generation Z, winning a seat in Florida. Good for him. 25 years old. The young man's called Maxwell Frost, a Democrat, becoming the first Generation Z member of Congress. Interesting to see that that it will be a trend of the future as birth rates fall and more of the population are younger and younger. Politics will evolve to adapt. Trust me, it will happen. And it's about time for a young president of the USA. I'm just saying, below 70. That's all I'm asking. That would be good. We also looked at the sad layoffs, the sad redundancies that are happening at Salesforce and Meta following the layoffs that happened at Twitter. And then we got into today's unpopular opinion, which was daylight saving time should be abolished. Okay, so I asked you all as a separate kind of thing to the main poll, to the main unpopular opinion. Separately to the main unpopular opinion, what would you prefer? To maintain daylight savings time as we had a month ago? It's currently October the 9th. No, November the 9th. And then we changed our clocks in October to the current standard time. And you guys said, well, let's get a drum roll going on. You guys said you would prefer to have stayed in daylight savings time. Which is a surprise to me, because according to all the information that I've read, that's the worst of the options. Apparently we would feel better, our bodies would be more live in more harmony with the daylight, the standard time that we're in now, the standard time schedule. But right now I'm going to see what people are saying in the chat. Nuria Nuria said, I heard that if the change of time wasn't applied, Galicia would be without light until 10 a.m. And I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Because in England, in the winter time, standard time, in England, the sun will come up, if I remember correctly, because it's been a while since I've lived in England, the sun will be up at around 9:30 standard time in the morning, which is sad because you go to work and it's dark and you go home and it's dark. And in the north of England where I lived is way further north than Galicia, so I don't think there's much truth to that. Honestly, I really don't. Chusky, I made a mistake with my vote. I meant standard time. Okay. So instead of 88%, it was 86 or something. I don't know. But I appreciate that, Chusky. A man who believes the science. How's everyone doing? How are you doing, Bridge? Welcome to the show. Let's see. They don't let me vote twice. Shame on them, says Rafelka. Oh, you neither? Oh, no, that sucks. Well, let's see what you guys actually thought. All right, let's run this. Let's run this poll. Okay. So, should daylight savings time be abolished? Okay. So we have let's stop changing the clocks, independent of which we keep. The question here is we should stop changing the clocks. What did you guys say? You said yes. You agreed. Oh, yeah. I'll take that as a win. I mean, it's a bit of an easy win, isn't it? This is a weird thing, right? No one seems to agree with daylight savings time or with the clocks changing. But no one seems to agree with what should be the new standard. And when it's put into place, it seems to cause chaos. It's not the first, like when Richard Nixon, I mentioned that Richard Nixon in the first part of the show in 1974 in January, signed a bill to make permanent daylight saving time law. Okay, so it would be permanent daylight saving time, and then a month later, they asked to end it because of people traveling in the dark and whatnot. Children were being hit by cars, school children. But it's not the first place it's been tried. It was tried in the United States twice. The UK tried it once and ended it early. Russia tried it once. India ended it early. They tried it once. So it's interesting. It's interesting to me that this thing that seems like common sense seems to be either wildly impractical or very, very unlucky. So I don't know why. It's odd. It's one of those odd kind of quirks, I guess. Because I can't see a positive. I mean, this is something, don't forget, daylight savings time is something that was created during, like, in 1916. 100 and some years ago. Is it still relevant today? I mean, it was a reaction to World War I, for God's sake. Parts of Arizona does not as well as parts of Canada without issue, though. Hang on. Parts of Arizona does not as well as parts of Canada without issue, though. That's from Gandalf. The Bridge. Yes, that way may not be able to agree on what everybody seems to be agreeing is quite a British thing. Wow, I'm struggling reading, or you guys are struggling typing today. I'm hungry at the same time as a month ago, says Nuria. Your rhythms are fine, Nuria. You know, you're going to get a...
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Me too, eh? I'm as hungry now in standard time as I was in daylight saving time. But my secret, I'm always hungry. I'm always hungry. That's what middle age is, just being tired and hungry all the time. All right. With all that said, friends, let's go to today's 100 Humans. Oh my God, a long walk to work, folks, across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And on that walk, I encountered 100 humans, and I asked them all a question. Today's question was... to name a profession, a job, right? Where people go into strangers' homes. Strangers. In Spanish, not raros. Desconocidos. Oh, I'm going to give myself a...
¡Wow! ¡Qué nivelazo!
Oh, thank you. Thank you, me. So, name a profession where people go into strangers' homes. I asked them that question. They give me their answers. I have the 7 most popular answers here. Your job in the chat is to identify those top 7 answers. Here we go. Who's kicking us off today? Who's starting? Oh, actually, with a few more comments here about the... Hi, guys. How you doing, Emily? Welcome. Emily started us off today. Can I say this on the radio? Okay, Emily... Well, I didn't say it. Emily said it. She says prostitute. A profession where you have to go into a stranger's house. Prostitute. Is it there? Sorry, Emily. Sorry. It's not there. Ravdos says a maid. A maid. A maid or a housekeeper. Right? Cleaning lady. Maid. Is a maid there? Woo! You're on fire, sir. We're off the board. The 100 humans agree with you. 12 of them agreed with you. Making housekeeper 3rd place. Well done. Well done, Chusky. Okay, next one. Oh, wow, you guys are going fast. Doing God's work today. Salespeople. Salespeople, says Nuriatam. Salespeople. Is a salesperson there? Someone who goes into a stranger's house. A profession that goes into a stranger's house. A salesperson. Nuria's on fire today. It's the only thing to say. Nuria's on fire. 18 of the 100 humans agreed with you. It's in 2nd place, Nuria. Well done. All right. Emily says a realtor. A realtor. Or a real estate agent, as we would say in the UK. Inmobiliario, I think, in Spanish. Correct me if I'm wrong there. A real estate agent. Is a real estate agent there? Emily, the legend, the myth. There she is. It's in 5th place, Emily, with 7 of the 100 humans agreeing with you. All right, let's continue. Realtor, salespeople. Okay, Ravdos says a delivery person. A delivery person. Do they come... Is it a profession where they come into your house? It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. Sorry. That's bad. It's not there. Emily says... Oh, no. Chusky says a marketing person. Ugh. I can't think of a worse person to have in my house. A marketing person. You could get your shirts even whiter than this. Oh, shut. God, leave. Thank God they only speak to me through YouTube. Okay, marketing people. Is it there? Oh. It was a good answer, Chusky, but it's not there, man. It's not there. Okay. A plumber, says Ravdos. A plumber. A plumber. If pornography is to be believed, this will be there. All right? Is a plumber a person that will just go into a stranger's house? A plumber. Fontanero. Is it there? Can I tell that joke on the radio? Probably not. Is it there? Hey, pornography didn't lie. It's there. And guess what? Who was it who said this? Ravdos. With 30 of the 100 humans, it's in 1st place. Well done. Well done. 1st place. A plumber. A profession. A job where you have to go into strangers' houses. All right. Emily says exterminator. An exterminator. Is it there? No. I don't know how you say exterminator in Spanish. Cazabichos, maybe? I don't know. How do you say exterminator? The guy who comes and kills pests in your house. Okay. Where were we? A plumber, we had that one. Repairman. A repairman, says Gandalf. A repairman. Is it there? Yes, it is. It's there with 6 of the 100 humans. It's in 7th place. Well done, Gandalf. You guys are missing 2 answers. You're missing 2 answers. Rafelka says, a fireman. Wow, great answer. Fireman. Is it there? It's a great answer, but it's not there. It's a great answer. This was maybe answer number 8. I would have said fireman. That's a good answer, Rafelka. Child Protective Services, says Emma Lee. Wow, you're in trouble if Child Protective Services come to your house. Is it there? It's not there either. It's not there either. Gandalf again with police. A policeman. Is a policeman the kind of job where you would go to a stranger's house? Is it there? What do you say, 100 humans? All right. It is, in fact, their 4th most popular answer, with 12 of the 100 humans saying policeman. Okay, let's continue. Where were we? Police. Babysitter, says Emma Lee. Babysitter. A babysitter. Is it there? Guys, all your answers sounds like pornography to me. I'm just going to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Why is it all of these professions are also strippers? You know what I mean? Stripper outfits. Where are we? Okay, babysitter. Postman. A postman, says Nuriatam. Is it there? No. Sorry. Gandalf says landlord. Cable installer, says Ravdos. Well, I'll be honest with you, Ravdos. Cable installer was there, but I changed it in my mind to repairman. Because who has cable nowadays? So I'm going to give you a little yay. Even though I convinced all the 100 humans that I asked to change their mind. Housekeeper was an answer already. Plumber, we've had oars. So none of those are there. Sorry. There's one more. Okay, I'm scrolling down the list, and the first person I see is Sasha Hayes. Welcome, Sasha, joining us from Australia. And she says, electrician. An electrician. Is it there? Well done, electrician is there with, I don't know, how many electrician? With 6 of the votes in 6th place. Well done, Sasha Hayes. Let's go through the list. I asked 100 people to name a profession where people go into strangers' houses, and they said in position number 7, a repairman or a cable installer. Repairman or a cable installer. In position number 6 was electrician, with 6 of the 100 humans. In position number 5 was a real estate agent or a realtor, with 7 of the 100 humans. In position number 4 was a policeman, with 12 of 100 humans. In position number 3 was housekeeper, a person who will go into a stranger's house. A housekeeper, well done. In position number 2 was a salesperson with 18 of the 100 humans saying a salesperson. And finally, in position number 1 was plumber. Well done to Ravdos.
ProBoh approved.
You rock. Loads of answers today. We had salespeople in general, electrician, Jehovah's Witnesses. Wow. If you let them in, you've made your fatal mistake there. You know. You don't let them in. You collect the pamphlet and you just close the door. That's the ProBoh technique. Salesperson, prostitute, same difference, says Emily. Furniture movers, carpet layers, agente inmobiliario. Thank you, Bridge. You're going to get
¡Wow! ¡Qué nivelazo!
Electrician. Hey, how are you doing, Symbol? A plumber. We've had that one. Guys, well done. A lot of good answers here. Oh my God, I have to scroll. You guys are on fire tonight. The Bridge says, let me explain, Rob. Brits never seem to come to a conclusion. The Euro, Europe, Brexit. I predict that Britain's going to try and rejoin the European Union and have to adopt the Euro. That's my prediction in the next 3 years. Let's see if it comes true. Clip that in case it comes true. Okay, you know what we're going to do, guys? We're going to go to today's Complete the News.
Complete the news.
All right, friends, here we go. Complete the news time. This is easy. This is an easy section. What I do, I give you a news headline and I leave out some important information. Then I will give you 3 Three options, A, B, or C. If you're one of the many people watching the show today, but you feel too nervous to type, this is your moment. All you have to write is A, B, or C. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to start off. We're going to start off in Perth, in Scotland. Okay, this was a piece of news that I bumped from yesterday. So are you ready, folks? Here we go. Perth Museum naming poll. Okay, so Perth Museum, they had a poll, an encuesta, to give the museum a new name. Okay, so Perth Museum naming poll chooses blank. So what is the museum's new name? Is it A, Perth Museum? Is it B, Perthy McPerthface? Or is it C, the Sparkling Museum of Perth? I will repeat those again, folks. Perth Museum, so a museum in Perth, Scotland, had a naming poll and they chose blank. Was it A, Perth Museum? Was it B, Perthy McPerthface? Or was it C, the Sparkling Museum of Perth? Woo! Perthy McPerthface. Why is that on the list? A few years ago, they did the same thing. They released an internet poll to name a boat. And the internet concluded the boat should be called Boaty McBoatface. Is this part 2? Is it Perthy McPerthface? Answer B. Is it answer C, the Sparkling Museum of Perth? Or is it answer A, the boring Perth Museum? Okay, I see all the answers. No one's voted for B. Mwah, mwah, mwah. C was the Sparkling Museum of Perth, but the majority of people said A. The majority of people said A, the Perth Museum, the most boring in the list. Let's see what the answer was. Let's get a drum roll. Perth Museum naming poll chooses Perth Museum. Well done. There is no fooling you today. There is no fooling you. A new museum at Perth City Hall will be called Perth Museum. After 60% of people in a public consultation picked the obvious choice. So boring. So boring. Perth Museum beat other suggestions, including the Sparkling Museum of Perth and Victoria Drummond Museum. There you go. Museum in Perth called Perth Museum. How boring. If you're going to call it that, don't do a poll. You know what I mean? I win. Well done, Emma Lee. There's a Perth in Western Australia too. There is. I knew that. I was aware of that. Okay. Here we go. This next piece of news, we're going to our home away from home on the ProBoh Show, complete the news section. Yes, to Florida. Florida traveller stuffed a gun. Stuffed to squeeze something into something else. Florida traveller stuffed a gun into blank and tried to bring it onto an aeroplane. A Florida traveller stuffed a gun into blank and tried to bring it into a plane. So where did he stuff the gun? Was it A, his butt, his bum, where he sits, his butt? Was it B, a raw chicken? A raw chicken. Or was it C, his child's baby carriage? All right. A Florida traveller stuffed a gun into blank and tried to bring it into a plane. Was it A, his butt, his, his rear end? Was it B, a raw chicken? Or was it C, He's a baby carriage. His baby's carriage. What do you think? A, B, or C, friends? A, B, or C? Florida traveler stuffed a gun into blank and tried to bring it onto the plane. A, his butt. B, a raw chicken. Or C, a baby carriage. All right, here we go. Let me see. I will salute Ravdos here. Salute you, sir, for being the only person to say a raw, uncooked chicken. Everybody else says, well, we have a few B's. I think C is in the lead. A baby carriage. A baby carriage. Let's see the truth. Let's get a drum roll. Florida traveler stuffed a gun into a raw chicken and tried to get it onto a plane. What the hell was this guy thinking? Since when do people commonly travel with raw chickens? When is that a thing that happens? Ah, that's true. Emily did say but. I salute you, Emily. Yeah, this is a completely true story. Florida man is on the loose again. Florida traveler stuffed a gun into a raw chicken to try and get it onto a plane. What a random place to try and hide a gun. A prospective air traveler was roasted by the Transportation Security Administration, the TSA, on social media on Monday after officers with the federal agency said it caught the person trying to conceal a gun inside a raw chicken stashed in their carry-on luggage. Who brings a raw chicken on a plane? What excuse is there to bring a raw chicken? Well, in case the plane crashed. So what, you were going to cook the chicken? But I don't understand the mental reasoning for taking a raw chicken on a plane. But there you go. Any of the suggestions would have made alarms trigger. That's true. Either way, it was something's butt. True story. Says that was from Emily. He would have more chance shooting himself if he put it in his own butt. True story. It would have been dangerous. Rob, I was thinking exactly the same thing. Poor chicken. R.I.P. chicken. Give the animal a little bit of dignity, won't you? All right, friends. Sadly, that's all we've got time for with today's ProBoh Show. Let me tell you something. We have covered a lot of ground. We've spoken about the midterm elections in the States. We've spoken about layoffs at big tech companies, the Perth Museum in Scotland, a Florida traveller with a weird-smelling gun. And tons more. Guys, there's so many things you could have been doing today. But instead of doing those things, you decided to spend some time with me, and it means the absolute world. Friends, I will see you tomorrow.